Minash-shaytanir-rajim. Bismillahir-rahmanir-rahim. So inshallah, today we are going to learn why and how when we make the nouns, they keep changing when they come inside the text or in the ayat. And there's certain rules for that, and this is very important to understand. Otherwise, the meanings might change if we don't pronounce or we don't say them correctly. So a noun, and we will not talk about the verb today, only the noun, because that's a very important part of the Arabic grammar and vocabulary. So we'll start with the example that if we have these three letters, and we'll take one example, kaf, ta, and ba, and the meaning is to write. Okay. So first thing we will make a noun out of it, three letters. Okay. And the noun is made by putting an alif between the second and the third, and it is kita. But the important thing is that last letter will have two pesh or two dhammas. It's very important. First time when you make a noun, it will always have two pesh. The sound will be bun, kitabun. Okay, when you stop, you say kitab, but the full word is kitabun. Okay, now, and this means a book, just any book. Okay, but if this book is a very special book, then it becomes the book. For example, Quran is the book. Okay, how do we make the book? We just add an al before that. Okay, so the word becomes al-kita. Al means the, kita, but this al changes two pesh into one. Okay, but this is still in the original form, always two pesh or one pesh. Okay, all the nouns will start with last letter having two pesh, or if you put the al, it becomes one pesh. This is a state of the noun which is called rafa. Rafa means the highest state, the original state. When you make the noun, they are in the original and the highest state, and they are called in the state of rafa. Okay, this word will come again and again in the Quran. So whenever somebody says what's the state of a noun, you will say it has two pesh or one pesh. That's all. Okay, now what happens that when these words come inside an ayat or in a sentence, the neighboring words affect these nouns, and the effect changes. It takes place only by modifying these last letters harkat. Harkat means pesh, zer, zabar. So some words in the before will change this to two zabars or one zabar. Some will change to two zer to one zer. And why it happens, we are going to study that today. So first thing, do that. Some word is going to come and change these two. So I'm going to write down this here, al-kitaba. So some word will come and will change this to al-kitaba, change pesh into zabar. Okay, so this is al-kitaba, and the other word will be kitaban. If it is a two pesh, it will change to kitaban. If it is one pesh, it will change to kitaba. Okay, so let me write down the second one because this is very important to follow. So this word, the other word will be kitaban. Okay, when that happens, these two words are no more in the state of rafa. Their state changes, and we call this, just by the definition, a nasab state. So their state has changed from rafa to nasab. Now, why it changed, that is we are going to study today from using some ayat and some other things. But important thing is that we notice that the state of the two nouns, the nouns, has changed now. When I said nasab, immediately it should go that now the last letter will have zabars on them. Okay. The third state that happens is that the same two words will be under the effect of some other words, and this time this will go to zair. Okay, and this word will become kitabin. Okay, so when that happens, there is a third state which is defined, which is called jar. Okay, so throughout the Quran you will see a noun will be changing from rafa to some nasab to some jar. Okay, and there are other words which are causing that thing. Okay, and not only that, this has a definite information. By changing these, we are adding some internal information, which I'll point out when we go there. But important thing is that if you see the noun in the pesh state, that's called rafa. If you see the nouns in the zabar, one or two, it's called nasab. If you see the zair under there, almost last letter of the noun is impacted by this phenomena. Okay, so keep this phenomena in mind, and I have listed something there, and we'll take the examples and follow them. Okay, so how does it work? Let's take the example that I have written down there. So you will see in the Quran the word Allahu, Allaha, Allahi, all three. Okay, why it happened? You will see in the Quran the word Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Muhammadin, which means same noun is changing states inside the ayat. And the ayat the state is changing always. First time it is going to be rafa state, which is pesh. Then some word will come and change into the nasab state. That means the pesh will change to zabar. Some other word will come and will change into the zair state. That state will call jar state. So we'll see many words. Okay, let's take an example. If look at the word, three letters alif, lam, and ha, root letters, we make a noun by doing ilahun. Ilahun has two pesh on the end. Always when you make the first time, this means a god or a deity. Okay, two pesh. Now put the la before that. La is called la nafiya, or its meaning is not. Okay, so what la does? It will attack the next word here and kill both of these pesh and replace them by one zabar. Okay, so originally this word was in the state of rafa. Now it went into the state of nasab. So what is the characteristics of this word la? Important thing is when la comes before, this is a noun. La comes before a noun, it changes the noun from two pesh to one zabar. And we recite this Allah, ilaha, all the time we recite this kalima. Original word is ilahun, la has made is ilaha. Okay, the next word is, if you look at the next word, illa. Illa means except or but. Okay, but look at the word after that. We recite this kalma all the time, illallahu. Okay, is still Rafa state, which means Illah cannot do anything. Okay? La has the authority to change the state, but Illah doesn't touch anything. Okay? So, okay. Also, La can do only on the noun. If it is coming before verb, it will not touch the verb. Okay? So, this is one example why Ilahun changes to Ilaha, is that because the La has the authority to change the state of the noun from the Rafa state to the Nasab state. Remember, the Rafa state, the highest state. When you make first time, it is the highest state of the noun, and when it becomes in the Nasab state, becomes weak. And we'll take the example. We'll learn some examples of that. So, La ilaha illallah. Now, let's look at other words. In the kalima here, the word is still Muhammadun. Okay, so Muhammadun has two pesh or two dhammas on them. So nothing touched this word. It remained Muhammadun. Why? Because there is nothing before this that can affect this one. Okay? If I put La before that, yes, La will do that. But there is nothing before that, so Muhammadun will remain in the original state, Muhammadun. Now look at the other word. The next word, full word is when you make the first time, it is Rasulun. It has two pesh. Rasulun means a messenger. Okay? The next word I'm going to write down separately as Allahu is the word. Okay? Separately, this is Rasulun, this is Allahu. Okay? We pronounce this Muhammadun, nothing touches that, it remains. Now what I'm going to do, even though Rasulun is a full word, two pesh in the Rafa state. Allahu has one pesh in the Rafa state. But as soon as I put an off between and join these two words together, okay, this is the rule of Izafa. What it does, in Arabic, we remove one pesh here, Rasulo. This becomes Zair. So what this action did, combination of the two words, changed the noun from the Rafa state to a Jar state. Okay? So it becomes Rasulullahi. Now, physically, why Arabs had to do this thing? Think of this way. What is this of preposition means? Preposition defines the position of one thing with respect to the other. When you say book is on the table, so you are defining the position of the book with respect to the table by saying it is on the table. Okay? So of is saying that this one, Rasul, is the messenger of Allah. Originally he was Rasulun, and it will remain Rasulun. But as soon as it became dependent on this word, it becomes an agent of this word. So the effect of that is that it changed this word to a different state. Okay? Now Allahu was independent, Rasulun was independent, but when they are connected together, this word impacted this word. So now this one is the authority and this one is the representative of that. Okay? So this became in the state of Jar. Okay? So there is a concept behind that. Okay? So that is the effect of Muhammadur Rasulullah. Also notice that when you read, you can read Muhammadun Rasulullah, but a Qari will say, I want to read Muhammadur, because he pronounces this two pesh, sound of noon as the sound of Ra. But that's Qirat. It's still keeping the two pesh, it's not changing to Zair or Zabar. Okay? So Muhammadun Rasulullah. Let's look at the other word. Next line that I have is Inna Allaha ala kulli shayin qadir. Okay, original word always is with the one page in this case. Allahu is the word. Allahu is in the Rafa state. This word inna has another characteristics. Okay. Inna has meanings indeed. Okay. Also there is a word anna. Anna has both two meanings, indeed and that. Okay. Now, as soon as this word comes before a noun, we are talking about all nouns here. The noun started in the original state. This inna has so much authority and power that it will attack this word, and the last letter it will change to a zabar. And we say all the time, Inna Allaha ala kulli shayin qadir. Inna Allaha. So inna is another agent which can change. Why? Because we are bringing so much surety in there. For example, if I hide this word inna, okay, and you read only Allaha, so you will think originally the word was Allahu. Why it is Allaha now? Which means some definiteness is being brought in there. Indeed, surety is being brought into the statement. So it changed to Inna Allaha. Now, look at the other word here. For example, Kullun means all. And it said two page here. Kullun means all. And the other word is Shayun. Shayun means things or thing. Shayun. Both are noun, both are first time made in the Rafa state, both have two page in them. Okay? Now, so do one thing again. Put an off in there. Combine them. Okay? So what will happen? There one page will go and these two page will become two zer. So the final word is kullo shaygin. The combined meaning of kullo shayin is everything, all things. Okay. Now put the word Allah before that. Allah is a harf-e jar. Harf-e jar means upon or on. It will look at the next word here, will change to a zer. Ala kulli shay'in. Okay. First, by combination, this noun was changed to shay'in from Rafa state to jar state. But this was still left into the Rafa state, kullu. But then comes the Allah. Allah changes to a jar state. So the noun keeps changing based on the word before that. The word before that has the power and authority to change the word. Okay. So inna Allah ala kulli shay'in. Qadirun is staying there, nobody is touching it. It's an independent word. There is no word before that, it's changing. Qadirun. If there was some Allah or other inna or in, then it will be impacted. But Qadirun will remain Qadirun. So that is the another agent. Okay. Another one. Look at the word Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin. The word is Muhammadun. Originally, the word is Muhammadun. Okay. But what is changing? Allah is changing it. Allah is a harf-e jar. Harf-e jar is changing to Muhammadin. So the word Muhammadun changed from Muhammadun to Muhammadin. Okay. Let's look one more example. We are saying now, Ashhadu anna Muhammadan. These are the things we say all the time. Ashhadu an la ilaha, ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu. Why Muhammadan changed from Muhammadin to Muhammadan? Because anna is there. Anna and inna are the agents which will attack the next word, will change the state of the noun. Okay. Then I want to point out the word there, another agent here. Let's look at the word abdun. Original word is abdun when you make the noun first time. Abdun means slave or servant. Okay. Write down another noun, original form in the Rafa state is Allahu. Okay. Two nouns separately, Abdun in the Rafa state, Allahu in the Rafa state. Okay. Now put an off in between. Okay, combine these together. It becomes slave of Allah. Abdullah. We say Abdul time Abdullah. What happens? Off will replace one dhamma here, so it will be left with one. It will affect the next one, it will move this to a kasra or zair. So this is still left in the Rafa state because it has one pesh. But this has gone to jar state because it's totally pesh has gone to zair. Now, name, okay, when you stop here, you can say Abdullah, okay? You can pronounce Abdullah, but it has to be written Abdullahi. So your name is Abdullah, okay? Your name is Abdullah. When your mother will call you from the other room, she will say Abdullah. I was surprised. Why she just told me, in an MCA, she told me the name of the child, Abdullah. But then child went a little further, she goes, Abdullah, Abdullah. I said, what are you calling me Abdullah? You just told me Abdullah. So what the rule is that when you call someone, you use the word Ya. Ya is called harf nada. Nada means calling, okay? When you call someone, you use the Ya. You don't have to use, but it's in your mind that you're using, calling someone. Nida means calling. This word also has the ability that it looks at the next noun and changes into the nasab state. So it doesn't happen randomly. There is a rule that Ya will do that. So Ya will change Abdullah to Abdallah. The other example that we have been following is that if you have khalaqa, means he created. Now, something which is being created is dependent upon the creation. Its work is being done. It is maf'ul, it is an object. So to represent an object, which was originally, the word was al-insanu. When you made it first time, it was al-insanu, okay? It was an independent object, noun. Now this noun is dependent. Someone is working on this noun. This noun cannot do anything by itself because it's under the control of someone else. So as soon as the noun becomes the maf'ul of the verb, the rule is that this is a noun. Separately, this is khalaqa, this is al-insanu. But when we join them, we are saying that someone is creating this man. It became dependent. It became maf'ul. So we will put the information of the maf'ul is with the changing from the or pesh to a zabar. So it becomes al-insana. Okay? Khalaq al-insana. In the sentence, in the ayat, because this is a maf'ul and maf'ul has to have this zabar on it. So we change that information there. Okay? So Arabs created this phenomena of changing the noun itself and providing the information internal to the word by itself by changing the last letters zair, zabar, pesh, this way. Now, they were also very picky.
If you don't change, it will become man created.
Then it becomes a different meaning, the man created. Okay? If you leave the pesh, then it will be the man created. Okay? Now, Arabs are very picky. They said Allah is an Arabic word. It will go through the transition of rafa to nasab to jar. Because the word Muhammad is Arabic word. So originally it is Muhammadun, Muhammadan, Muhammadin. It will go through the complete transition. But they said some names come from outside. So they brought a name from outside, which was not Arabic name. Okay? So let's take one example of that. They found a name which was partially Arabic, not fully Arabic. Ibrahimo. That was the name. Ibrahimo is the original name. Okay, with the one pesh only. So let's say that when we will use this name in our grammar, in our language, this will not follow those rules. So in the Quran, you will see Ibrahimo when it is the original, but then you will say Ibrahima. You will never say Ibrahimi. Doesn't matter if a harf jar is attacking on it or anything is attacking on this word, it will remain Ibrahima. So it will go to two transitions only. Pesh and Zabar only. Okay. Then they said, well, there is another word. Let's say this word came which is completely non-Arabic. Musa. They said, well, Musa will remain Musa. We won't touch it. Doesn't matter if somebody is working on Musa or some harf jar is coming before Musa or it's maful before Musa or ya is coming before Musa, Musa will remain Musa. So Musa is a completely foreign name.
How about Yusuf?
Yusuf is partially Arabic, partially. So Yusufa and Yusufo you will see. Okay. Isa will remain Isa all the time. So you will, if when you read the Quran next time in example, you will see these kind of changes. That why there is a harf jar fi before, but this doesn't come fi Ibrahimi. Fi should make it there, but it remains Ibrahima. Okay, it is a noun also. Remember that it's a noun. It's a partial Arabic, non-Arabic words. What they do even now, there is an institute in Egypt where when they bring the foreign words, for example, nowadays computer is a foreign word. Everybody uses computer. So they will discuss, okay, how should we use computer in Arabic language? Should we make a computero, or this kind of thing? So they go through every word which comes from outside of the language. They discuss, they plan, then they said that's how it will be used in Arabic language. Okay, but this is all before the Quran. It was already, this kind of fusha was already there. Quran just used it the way it was being spoken by the Arab scholars, linguistic people, common people. Okay, so that is the importance of remembering and learning the three states of a noun. Original state is Rafa. Words will change it to Nasab. Some other words will change it to Jar. So you will see this. A long time ago when I did not know, I was reading the Quran, I read somewhere Rabbul Alameen. Then somewhere else the same is Rabbil Alameen. Somewhere in the Quran it says Rabbal Alameen. Always worried that why they cannot keep the same word. But this is a phenomenon that takes place, that one word impacts the other word. Okay, so inshallah we'll stop here.
With the single page versus two, is there any rule where you would have single versus two?
No, common to proper name. That's all. Definite to indefinite. In English, what is definite? What's indefinite? A book, the book. As soon as you make it the book, it is not any book anymore. It is the special book. So you make kitabo and kitabun will become al kitabu.
Yeah, the reason I'm saying Allahu.
Allahu, if you remember my first day, it was created by Ilahun,
Yeah.
and putting Allah, al before that. Ilahun means any God.
Yeah.
You put al before that,
Yeah.
it will, two the must will change into one.
So the new word that became, oh, because this has an al in the front,
That's what I'm saying. Al made it Allahu. Otherwise it was Ilahu.